Embark on a cinematic journey through Italy's hidden wonders and captivating traditions. This travel documentary reveals surprising stories and unforgettable experiences that showcase the country's rich spirit and timeless allure. Most Italian women are open to multiracial dating. In contemporary Italy, the social landscape is evolving, and with it, the attitudes of Italian women toward love and partnership. The notion that most are open to multiracial dating reflects a significant generational shift. Younger women, in particular, raised in a more globally connected world through travel and digital media, often prioritize shared values, emotional intelligence, and personal character over ethnic or racial background. This modern perspective views cultural differences not as barriers, but as enriching aspects of a relationship that can lead to greater understanding and personal growth. This openness is increasingly visible in Italy's urban centers, where daily life is more multicultural. Cities like Milan, Rome, and Bologna are hubs of international exchange, where interactions between Italians and people from diverse backgrounds are a normal part of life. In these environments, dating someone of a different race is often seen as a natural outcome of a blended society. Friendships and professional relationships easily cross cultural lines, paving the way for romantic connections based on genuine compatibility rather than superficial criteria. However, it's crucial to acknowledge that Italy is not a monolith. While a growing majority, especially among the youth, embraces this openness, traditional views persist in some segments of society. Family expectations and regional conservatism can still present challenges. Despite this, the trend is clearly moving toward greater acceptance. The fundamental desire for a connection built on respect and mutual affection is universal. And for a vast number of Italian women today, the color of a partner's skin is irrelevant to finding that profound bond. Italy has more art than anywhere else. Italy's streets and cities feel like open-air museums, where every corner reveals a masterpiece. From the Renaissance brilliance of Florence to the Baroque elegance of Rome, the country holds nearly 60% of the world's most celebrated art treasures. It is here that Michelangelo painted the Sistine Chapel ceiling, Da Vinci brought the Last Supper to life, and Botticelli immortalized the birth of Venus. Walk into any Italian cathedral, palace, or piazza, and you find yourself face to face with works that defined entire movements in art history. What makes Italy truly remarkable is not only the sheer quantity of its art, but also its diversity. Ancient Roman mosaics, medieval frescoes, Renaissance sculptures, and modern avant-garde pieces coexist in a continuum of creativity. Museums like the Uffizi in Florence and the Vatican Museums in Rome guard priceless collections, yet equally stunning art is often found in modest chapels or tucked-away villages. Even cities like Venice or Siena feel like living paintings, where the architecture itself is art, reflecting centuries of devotion to beauty. Beyond preservation, Italians live in a culture where art is woven into daily life. Public squares display fountains carved by Bernini, streets are lined with buildings painted in warm hues, and festivals honor traditions passed down through generations of artisans. Art here is not just locked in galleries, it flows through the rhythm of life, shaping the nation's identity and leaving travelers with the sense that Italy itself is the greatest masterpiece of all. The country that kisses on both cheeks. In Italy, greetings are more than a polite exchange. They are a warm ritual that reflects the nation's spirit of connection. The famous double cheek kiss, known as the bacio sulla guancia, is a traditional way to say hello or goodbye among friends, family, and even new acquaintances. While it might look effortless, there is often a rhythm to it. Lean in, touch cheeks lightly, and exchange kisses in the air. Yet, it isn't always just two. Depending on the region, you may encounter 1, 2, or even 3 cheek kisses, each variation carrying its own local charm. This custom goes beyond formality, offering a glimpse into Italian values of closeness and affection. It bridges personal space in a way that feels natural, reminding people that warmth and humanity lie at the heart of relationships. In northern regions, a double kiss is most common, while in certain southern towns, 3 are exchanged, symbolizing deeper bonds. Tourists sometimes fumble with the ritual, unsure which cheek to start on, but Italians are forgiving. It's the intention, not the perfection, that matters most. The cheek kiss is more than a greeting. It's a cultural embrace that sets Italy apart. Unlike a quick handshake, it carries a sense of familiarity, even with people you've just met. It reflects the country's passion for human connection and its belief that life is best lived together. For travelers, learning this little ritual means stepping into the Italian way of life, where every encounter is an opportunity to share warmth. Italy, the birthplace of eyeglasses. In the 13th century, Italy quietly gifted the world an invention that would forever change human life: the eyeglasses. First appearing in Pisa around the 1280s, these early spectacles were rudimentary, featuring simple convex lenses bound together by a frame that could perch on the nose. They were designed primarily to aid monks, scholars, and scribes who struggled with fading eyesight, allowing them to continue their reading and writing well into old age. What began as a humble tool for the intellectual elite soon spread across Europe, becoming an indispensable aid for vision. The invention of glasses was more than a convenience. It was revolutionary for education, science, and art. By extending human eyesight, spectacles extended human productivity and creativity. Renaissance artists who relied on detail and precision benefited enormously, while scholars could pore over texts for longer hours. This advancement contributed to the explosion of knowledge during the Renaissance, making Italy not just the birthplace of great art and philosophy, but also a nation that sharpened humanity's literal view of the world. Even today, Italy's connection to eyewear remains strong. The country is home to some of the world's most prestigious eyewear brands and fashion houses, carrying forward its legacy of combining practicality with elegance. From a monk's modest invention to today's stylish designer frames, eyeglasses stand as one of Italy's greatest contributions to civilization. An innovation that not only changed the way the world looks, but also the way the world sees. A country without coffee to go. In Italy, coffee is not just a drink. It is a ritual, an experience savored slowly, even if it lasts only a minute or two. Walk into any cafe, and you'll notice the absence of takeaway cups and hurried customers rushing out with lattes in hand. Instead, Italians stand at the bar, sipping their espresso in tiny porcelain cups, often exchanging a few words with the barista or a fellow patron. The moment is quick but intentional, a daily pause that values presence over speed, connection over convenience. This cultural approach contrasts sharply with the global coffee-to-go trend, where caffeine is consumed in a rush between commutes and meetings. In Italy, coffee is not treated as fuel, but as a symbol of community and lifestyle. An espresso is small, concentrated, and designed to be finished in a few sips, making takeaway cups unnecessary. The lack of to-go culture also ties into Italy's deep respect for tradition. Coffee preparation follows strict unwritten rules, and the thought of diluting that experience with a paper cup feels almost sacrilegious. For visitors, adapting to this custom can feel unusual at first, but it quickly becomes one of the most charming aspects of Italian life. Instead of walking with a drink in hand, you join the locals in pausing your day, even briefly, to enjoy something that has been perfected over centuries. It's a reminder that in Italy, coffee is not about getting through the day. It's about making the day worth savoring. Venice, the city of canals. Venice is unlike any other city in the world, where roads are replaced by winding canals and cars give way to gondolas and vaporetti. With more than 400 bridges connecting over 100 tiny islands, Venice is a masterpiece of engineering and imagination, built entirely on water. Walking through the city feels like entering a living labyrinth, where stone bridges arch gracefully over shimmering waterways, creating a rhythm of movement that's both timeless and enchanting. These bridges are not just practical crossings. They are part of Venice's identity, each one telling a story of its own. The Rialto Bridge, with its elegant arches and bustling shops, stands as the city's oldest and most iconic crossing, while the Bridge of Sighs whispers tales of prisoners glimpsing Venice for the last time. Even the smallest neighborhood bridges, often overlooked, hold centuries of history, connecting families, markets, and communities in ways roads never could. Every step across them feels like stepping into another era, where life flows at the pace of the canals below. Without cars, Venice has preserved a quieter, slower rhythm of life, where footsteps, laughter, and the splash of oars replace the roar of traffic. The city's unique layout invites people to explore on foot or by boat, allowing them to notice the details. Hidden courtyards, flower-filled balconies, and reflections dancing on water. The bridges are more than connections. They symbolize the unity of a city built on fragility, yet standing strong for centuries, making Venice a place where the extraordinary feels beautifully ordinary. The land of hundreds of pasta shapes. Italy is a country where pasta is not just food, but a cultural art form, celebrated in over 350 unique shapes. Each twist, curl, ribbon, and tube has a purpose, crafted to perfectly match a particular type of sauce. From the long, delicate strands of spaghetti meant to cradle light tomato sauces, to the hollow rigatoni designed to hold onto rich, meaty ragu, every shape reflects centuries of culinary wisdom. The sheer variety is astonishing, showing how deeply pasta is woven into daily life and regional traditions across the country. Different regions proudly claim their own specialties, and the shapes often reflect local character and resources. In Liguria, you'll find trophy, short twisted spirals made to pair with the region's famous pesto. In Emilia-Romagna, the birthplace of tagliatelle, the wide ribbons are crafted to carry creamy sauces and hearty ragu. In Sardinia, malaredus, tiny ridged shells, are a staple at family gatherings, often paired with sausage and tomato. Each pasta tells a story not just of taste, but of place, with recipes passed down through generations. What makes Italy's pasta culture even more fascinating is the precision behind it. Shapes aren't random. They are designed for texture, sauce pairing, and even eating experience. A ridged pasta grips sauce differently than a smooth one. Tiny shapes invite rich coatings, while larger ones can hold fillings of cheese, spinach, or meat. This thoughtful design transforms simple ingredients into endless variations of flavor, making pasta an eternal symbol of Italian creativity and passion for food. Pizza was once street food for the poor. In Italy, in the bustling streets of Naples during the 18th century, pizza was not the gourmet dish it is today, but humble street food created to satisfy the hunger of the working class. It was cheap, filling, and easy to eat on the go, making it the perfect choice for laborers who needed energy for long hours of work. Vendors would bake flatbreads topped with simple ingredients like garlic, lard, salt, or anchovies, selling them directly from wooden stalls or carrying them through the streets. Far from the polished restaurants of today, pizza began as a food of survival. Practical, flavorful, and accessible to all. The turning point came with the creation of the pizza margherita in 1889, crafted to honor Queen Margherita of Savoy. Topped with tomatoes, mozzarella, and basil, it mirrored the colors of the Italian flag and elevated pizza from peasant food to a national symbol. From then on, what was once dismissed as food for the poor began gaining recognition as a beloved Italian dish. Still, its charm lay in its simplicity. A dish born from basic ingredients that transformed into something universally satisfying. This simplicity is what made pizza so adaptable and easy to spread across the world. Today, pizza is one of Italy's greatest cultural exports, served in Michelin-starred restaurants and casual street stalls alike. Yet in Naples, the birthplace of pizza, tradition still matters. Authentic Neapolitan pizza is protected by law. Baked in wood-fired ovens with strict rules on ingredients and preparation, ensuring the humble street food of the past continues to be celebrated as Italy's culinary treasure. The Roman concrete secret. Roman engineering has long fascinated historians, but perhaps the most astonishing secret lies in their concrete. Structures like the Colosseum, aqueducts, and harbors built over 2,000 years ago still stand today, defying time and weather. Unlike modern concrete, which often deteriorates within decades, Roman concrete seems to grow stronger with age. Scientists have discovered that the mixture, made of volcanic ash, lime, and seawater, triggered a unique chemical reaction that allowed the concrete to heal itself when cracks formed. Instead of breaking apart, it would recrystallize, sealing the damage naturally. This self-healing property was not accidental, but the result of Roman innovation. The volcanic ash used in the mix contained minerals that reacted with water over time, producing resilient compounds that reinforced the material. This explains how Roman piers and harbors have survived centuries of constant battering by waves and saltwater, conditions that cause modern concrete to crumble. In fact, recent research suggests Roman builders may have deliberately added chunks of quicklime, which would dissolve and fill cracks when exposed to rain or seawater. Their intuitive understanding of chemistry was far ahead of its time. Today, scientists are looking back to this ancient recipe to solve modern construction challenges. As the world seeks more sustainable and durable building materials, Roman concrete offers a blueprint for the future. By studying its composition, researchers hope to develop eco-friendly alternatives that last longer, reduce carbon emissions, and minimize repair costs. Once dismissed as primitive, Roman concrete may hold the key to building stronger, greener cities for centuries to come. An island full of long-lived people. On the Italian island of Sardinia, age seems to bend in surprising ways. This rugged, sun-drenched land is recognized as one of the world's rare blue zones, regions where people consistently live longer than average. Here, reaching 100 years old is not a rarity, but almost a tradition, with villages boasting remarkable numbers of centenarians. Their longevity has fascinated scientists, who trace it to a blend of genetic resilience, a healthy lifestyle, and strong community bonds. Daily life in Sardinia is steeped in routines that quietly nurture well-being. Locals follow a Mediterranean diet rich in olive oil, whole grains, legumes, garden vegetables, and goat's milk, with meat reserved for special occasions. Red wine, particularly the antioxidant-packed Cannonau, is enjoyed in moderation, often alongside laughter and stories shared with family and neighbors. Work in the fields, shepherding goats, or tending gardens provides natural exercise, ensuring bodies stay active without the strain of gyms or rigid routines. This balanced lifestyle seems to protect both the heart and mind deep into old age. Equally important is Sardinia's powerful sense of community. Elders are deeply respected, woven into daily family life rather than isolated. Conversations stretch over hours, and stress is tempered by social connection and a slower pace of living. Together, these elements create a harmony that defies aging. To wander through Sardinian villages is to glimpse a place where time seems generous, where life is savored, and where the secret to longevity might just lie in living simply, together, and with joy. Italy, the land of superstitions. In Italy, superstition is woven into daily life in ways that might surprise outsiders. One of the most intriguing beliefs centers on the number 17, which many Italians view with unease. Just as the number 13 is avoided in much of the Western world, 17 is the figure that Italians dread. Hotels may skip room 17. Airlines sometimes avoid row 17. And some even go out of their way to rearrange plans if the date falls on the 17th. The fear comes from Roman numerals, 17, which can be rearranged to spell vixi, meaning I have lived, an ominous phrase hinting at death. But the fear of numbers is only the beginning. Italians are surrounded by customs meant to invite good luck or ward off misfortune. A common gesture is the famous corna, the horned hand symbol, used to protect oneself against the evil eye. Red cornicello charms, shaped like small horns, are worn like jewelry or hung in homes to shield from bad energy. Even spilling olive oil or breaking a mirror is taken seriously, sparking rituals to cancel the supposed bad luck. These traditions may sound quaint, but they are deeply rooted in centuries of folklore and cultural pride. Superstitions also find their way into joyful moments. Brides often carry a small charm for protection, and New Year's Eve traditions, like wearing red underwear, are thought to ensure good fortune for the year ahead. For visitors, these rituals are a fascinating window into Italy's culture, where history, belief, and everyday life dance together in ways both mysterious and enduring. The only country with opera in its DNA. Italy is the birthplace of opera, a grand art form that emerged in Florence during the late 1500s. What began as an attempt by Renaissance scholars and musicians to revive the storytelling of ancient Greek theater soon blossomed into a cultural phenomenon that captured the emotions of entire audiences. Claudio Monteverdi, often called the father of opera, transformed music and drama into a unified spectacle, laying the foundation for what would become one of Italy's most celebrated gifts to the world. From its earliest stages, opera in Italy was more than entertainment. It was a reflection of history, politics, and human passion. Over the centuries, Italian composers elevated opera into an art that transcended borders. The works of Rossini, Verdi, and Puccini filled theaters with unforgettable melodies and dramatic tales of love, sacrifice, and betrayal. Their operas not only shaped music, but also influenced fashion, architecture, and even language. La Scala in Milan and Teatro La Fenice in Venice became temples of this art form, attracting audiences from across Europe. To Italians, opera was never just a show. It was an expression of national pride and cultural identity, as vital as painting or literature. Today, opera remains woven into Italy's cultural DNA. Festivals celebrate it under the stars in Verona's ancient Roman amphitheater, while grand opera houses continue to host performances that carry the same emotional power as they did centuries ago. For Italians, opera is more than tradition. It is a living, breathing connection to their past, echoing through every note sung on their stages. 12. Italy, the place of ghost towns. Italy is not only a land of bustling piazzas and Renaissance art, but also of eerie silence, where more than 6,000 abandoned villages and towns lie frozen in time. These ghost towns, scattered across the mountains, valleys, and coastlines, often tell stories of centuries past, of communities forced to flee due to earthquakes, landslides, wars, or simply the gradual pull of urban migration. Wandering through their empty cobbled streets, crumbling houses, and forgotten churches feels like stepping into a parallel world where history lingers in every stone. Some of these ghost towns have become hauntingly beautiful attractions. Krakow in Basilicata, deserted after a series of landslides, is now a cinematic backdrop featured in Hollywood films like The Passion of the Christ. Others, like Civita di Bagnoregio, perch precariously on cliffs, earning the title The Dying Town, yet still manage to draw curious visitors with their fragile beauty. These places blend melancholy with wonder, offering a glimpse into the resilience of those who once lived there and the relentless forces of nature that reclaimed their homes. Yet not all ghost towns are doomed to decay. In recent years, Italy has tried to revive some of them by selling abandoned houses for just €1, inviting dreamers and adventurers to restore life within the ruins. Whether left untouched as open-air museums or slowly reborn through restoration projects, Italy's ghost towns remind us that even silence has a story, and in these forgotten corners, history whispers louder than ever. A nation that eats slow, not fast. In Italy, meals are more than a way to fill the stomach. They are rituals of connection, tradition, and joy. The country is the birthplace of the global slow food movement, which began in the 1980s as a protest against the growing presence of fast food chains. Italians believed that rushing meals stripped food of its cultural meaning and nutritional value. Instead, they championed local ingredients, traditional recipes, and the simple act of taking time to savor flavors around the table. In Italy, every meal is a reminder that food is not just about eating, it's about living well. The slow food philosophy is visible in everyday Italian life. Markets burst with regional produce, artisanal cheeses, handmade pastas, and freshly baked breads, all reflecting the pride of local communities. Meals stretch into hours, often shared with family and friends, with each dish served in its own course. From antipasti to dolci, the rhythm of eating reflects centuries of tradition, where taste, conversation, and atmosphere intertwine. Even the smallest trattoria values authenticity over speed, proving that real food is worth waiting for. For visitors, this cultural approach is eye-opening. While much of the world rushes through lunch breaks with takeout, Italians linger over coffee, enjoy leisurely dinners, and refuse to compromise flavor for convenience. The slow food movement has since inspired a global return to mindful eating, but in Italy it has always been a way of life. Here, to eat slowly is to celebrate heritage, community, and the art of truly savoring life. The country with a calendar in its walls. The Pantheon in Rome is often praised as one of the most extraordinary architectural achievements of the ancient world. But few realize it also hides a cosmic calendar in its design. The vast dome, with its central oculus, allows a single beam of sunlight to sweep across the marble interior like the hand of a giant celestial clock. At key moments of the year, this beam aligns with the entrance or niches, marking important dates tied to Roman rituals and the calendar. What appears to be a simple architectural feature was, in fact, a brilliant tool for tracking time and seasons. This merging of art, science, and religion reveals just how advanced Roman engineering truly was. The Pantheon wasn't only a temple, it was a living instrument, blending astronomy with spirituality. The play of light carried symbolic weight, reinforcing the idea that the emperor ruled under the gaze of the heavens. As the sunbeam shifted with the seasons, it marked solstices, equinoxes, and religious festivals, reminding worshippers that Rome's power was aligned with cosmic order. Even today, standing inside and watching the light drift across the grand space feels like witnessing time itself unfold. For modern visitors, the Pantheon's solar calendar remains a breathtaking lesson in precision and imagination. While many ancient structures have lost their secrets, the Pantheon continues to perform its silent ritual each day, just as it has for nearly 2,000 years. It is not only a monument of stone, but also a testament to Rome's enduring genius, an eternal calendar etched into the sky. Thanks for joining our journey through Italy's hidden wonders. Subscribe, like, and share to discover more surprising travel documentaries and uncover the world's most unforgettable destinations.